I call for about 3 hours at the bare minimum every day. And if I don't have any appointments in the afternoon, then I'm back at the phones because that's really our only job as realtors. It's either we're at an appointment or we're looking for one, or we're setting one, right? That's really it. I'm looking for the person that is looking for me. Because there's another saying in real estate, if you generate, you don't have to tolerate.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's Aaron Wittenstein, and I'd like to welcome you to Vulcan7 Roadmap. This is where we teach you how to take an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,363 listings a week. We've got a really cool guest today. We've been kind of shooting the breeze a little bit ahead of time here. My guy from Temecula, California. I don't want to, like I said, you say your name so much better than I do. Would you mind saying it, please?
Thanks, Aaron. My name is Dante Coz. I am in Temecula, California, where there's vines, vineyards, wineries. It's a great place to live and to settle down, set some roots, buy a house.
I'm going to come visit. I could use a winery in my life right now. Well, just out of morbid curiosity, what's the going price for your average run-of-the-mill winery? How much does that go for?
I probably like anywhere from 7 to 14 million.
That's it? All right. You want to go halvesies with me?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. If you get somebody to run it, because I know running a restaurant and tasting room and everything, it's the whole ordeal. You gotta. It's a lot harder than selling real estate. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I could just imagine. No, you couldn't. Like I said, I just want to go there, have it all ready to go, and just drink the wine and have an Aaron Wittenstein wine factory, something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, enough about wineries. Let's get back to real estate. So I know we were talking a little bit before here, and how long have you had Vulcan7 for so far?
I think it's been 2 years now, almost 2 years, something like that.
Okay,
I know I renewed my contract maybe
at
6 months
least
ago,
one.
or maybe a little more. Yeah.
And tell me, just walk me through like your not experience, like your path with Vulcan7, like where you started, where you're at now, that type of stuff. Just get a good idea of what your prospecting path has looked like.
Man, I didn't think I didn't really have a schedule, so to speak, right? Like a daily schedule. Um, but just within Vulcan 7, I want to say it was like within the first couple of months, I got my first listing. I was able to it was interesting. It was a listing appointment over Zoom. And the person was like in LA and I'm, down here, but he had a property, a rental property here in Temecula. And the person didn't even turn on his camera during the whole thing, right? But here I am just thinking, look, I'm going to give the best presentation that I can. And there's no place for me to say, hey, sign here, right? I can't hand him a pen over my phone. Um, but obviously he saw something in me because a week and a half later he called me back and said, hey, remember me? Yeah, of course we talked. Yeah, I'd like to list it now. So that home sold for like $35,000 over average
Well,
asking price in that neighborhood. And so he was thrilled. Became friends. That's all
hey,
from Vulcan 7.
there you
So
go. So you started using you started prospecting, about 2 years ago. Is that right? And
yeah,
like, what did that look like? Were you consistently doing it? Were you just kind of doing like sporadically and haphazard, or how did that work?
yeah. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't consistent. There was like some sprints, right? And we all know that a life is more of a marathon. And so I know that I was consistently inconsistent for the first
Hmm.
year and a little bit. It wasn't until I guess say got a coach. I've had other coaches in real estate, but this was more real estate specific and put together a daily schedule. Although I had a schedule, but it was too loose. Right now, it's like it's everything has an alarm. Everything has I'm here by 7. This is my office where I'm at, so I'm here by 7. And I begin calling at the same time every single day. And so and it's great, because I think you have consistent results when you do it every day. You know, five
Oh,
six days a week.
100%. I don't want to get to the results yet because I know they're pretty awesome. What I want to know is what you just said is that you have a consistent schedule that you run, like
Yeah.
where I just run like clockwork. Okay.
Yeah.
And at least I know the most successful people, that I work with. Let me, okay.
So that's just an outline. So that's an outline of the schedule, and I have them everywhere. I've actually given them to my family as well. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing, right? At 7 a.m., at 8 a.m., and so on. So if you call me, I even tell my clients, when you call me at this time, you're probably not going to get me. If it's my prospecting time, you're probably not going to get me on the phone right away, but you're going to get a quick text from me saying, hey, what's up? Because I have you on my computer, right? And or another team member will reach out to them and see if it's urgent or something, right? But I treat the prospecting time like it's like if I was a doctor doing surgery, right? It's like no distractions, no email. Um, I mean, I'm not perfect, right? So sometimes, yeah, I put my phone in do not disturb, but at times, you might get a buzz or something, or somebody drops by the office and tries to get my attention, but it's just like, hey, even if I'm not on the phone with anyone, and the phone's and the dialer is dialing, it could be at any point where somebody answers, and if you stumble, with somebody that doesn't know you, right, doesn't trust you, doesn't like you yet, and you're done, you know. So you want to keep
So,
those times safe.
so you're, I mean, the word that comes into mind for me is you're methodical about what you're doing. Is that right?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm highly analytical, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you just run me through what your typical morning goes through? Like, I'd be really curious to hear like what your average day looks like. Would you be open to sharing that?
Yeah. So it's interesting. My morning begins around 4 a.m. The moment I wake up, I put on my nifty headphones, right? And I start listening to some affirmations, right, that are already pre-recorded. So they're just running in my head as I'm putting my sweats or my workout clothes. Then get to the gym. They open at 5. I'm there by that time, um, and then I switch that once I get there to something. I listen to the same things every single day because I know that I am changing as a person every single day. So the things that I listen to, it goes through one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's speech, like 10 minutes or something. So obviously, I've seen that movie. A lot of you probably seen that movie. You've probably seen that movie, Pumping Iron. So I'm thinking, as I'm lifting weights, um, you know, and I'm thinking through everything I do in my life. Throughout my day or my morning, I think about the reasons why I'm doing things, right? My family and all that stuff. So, as I'm pushing through that extra rep, it's I'm doing the extra rep for my mom, for my dad, for my brother-in-law, for my sister, for my nephews. But fast forwarding that, just end the end the workout somewhere around 5:45, 6 or so. Then I just shower, dress up always, even if I'm not seeing anyone. It's about being ready for the opportunity when it comes. That's the way that I see it. Why would the world give you an opportunity if you're not ready for it, right? It'll just give it to the other person. Whatever you believe in, God, universe, it's just one of those things. Um, and then it takes about maybe 20, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to get to my office from the gym. So, because I stop by and get myself a little treat, for doing all those things.
Mhm.
So I put on my scripts that I listen to every day. It's about 22 minutes. And I listen throughout that entire thing as I'm going from the gym to the office. Um, by the time I get to the office, it's 7 a.m. And then I script practice with someone. Um, Short, simple, sweet. Just they go, I go, and then I meditate for 12 minutes. So, and that's bulk the morning of prior to. I think that sets me. My iron has been sharpened, so to speak, right? So that I can actually get to my potential. Those people in need that weren't able to sell their homes, because I speak to expireds, the first thing, first things first, and it just kind of puts me on that place where I can actually speak to them, listen to them, you know, And yeah, and then I call for about 3 hours at the bare minimum. I think every day now. Um, and if I don't have any appointments in the afternoon, I take a quick break around like 9:30, something like that. After I've been going for about an hour and a half, 10 minutes, walk outside, get some fresh air. Enjoy the sun. We're in California, so most of the time, listen to a song or two, and then just get back at it again until 11, until I get to chat with Jim and Chamberlain, right, with you guys on the Tuesdays and Thursday calls. So I usually end about 11, right around that time. And if there is no call, then I go a little bit longer, maybe 11:30. And if I don't have any appointments in the afternoon, then I'm back at the phones, because that's really our only job, right? It's either we're as realtors, it's either we're at an appointment or we're looking for one. So, or we're setting one, right? That's really it. So,
Exactly. Like I always say, how many jobs do you get to sit down and talk to people on the phone and make more money, make more money than attorneys or doctors? I mean, that's the way that I look at that. And it's like you are just like, I don't say this very often, meaningfully, but you're a machine. I mean, it's impressive to hear that. And because of that, what are the expectations that you expect on a daily basis? See how many contacts, how many leads, how many appointments? Like, what for you is considered to be a good day?
so if I could hit 193 contacts every day, I would do it. um, realistic, I think I'm at a goal of 30 contacts every single day, but with the intention, obviously, to set an appointment. So I've been taught by the best, and Jim. I can't mention his name enough because he's been such a pivotal person in my life. Um, so thank you, Jim. I know you know, but so it's either they give me an appointment or they hang up the phone, somewhat like that, right? It's I'm going for the appointment on every single pickup. Some people are short, some people don't want to give you the time of day, but there are some like. One thing that I'm always thinking about while prospecting, and I repeat it out loud, is I'm only looking for the person that is looking for me. I'm only looking for the
Can you
person that
keep?
is looking for me.
I wanted you to repeat it. Thank you. That's really good.
Yeah. And like, because there's another saying in real estate, if you generate, you don't have to tolerate, right? So if you get a lot of people, if you get somebody that's just extremely obnoxious, you don't have to stay on that call,
Right.
right? We have the power to say, hey, have a nice day, and hang up. you know but I also understand and truly believe that, like, this is not even about me, right? This real estate thing, this, helping, like, I'm here to help other people. And so, if they're mad, they're not mad at me. If they're frustrated, they're not frustrated at me. They're frustrated really at the choices they made prior to hiring the wrong person, right? Or, someone led them to believe that they could do a good job and they didn't do it, right? And so, for me, it's like, this is not even about me, right? Like, me sharpening my skill for 2.5 hours or 2 hours, just my morning routine. I believe it's about using the talents and skills. So the talents that I've been borrowed, or like I've borrowed, or I've been given, and the skills that I've continued to refine every day and develop, they're just here for me to do something greater in this world, right? Which is hopefully help someone that, because I really put myself in the seller's shoes, right? Like, they had they had a they had a plan. Like, some people are planning their move for 5 years, for 10 years, or some people are just like, hey, I want to move, but you don't move from one place to another, even if it's from one neighborhood to another, without a plan,
Hmm.
right? And you were thinking about that for how long? You were putting your finances in place. You were picking out the other house. You were driving by neighborhoods, to then all fall apart in 90 days, in 160 days, all because, yeah, there was, a way of, like, chose the wrong person, right? Or the other realtor led you to believe that they could do something that they didn't. And so for me, it's bigger than just, calling someone, getting their home listed, getting it sold. That's the objective. But I'm thinking, well, okay, even if they're frustrated, is bigger than that. Even if they're mad at me, is bigger than that, right? So what can I do in that call to help them get their plan back on track? So I mean, obviously, and that's by knowing your scripts and all that stuff, right?
I
So
mean, it's called perspective. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are like, I speak with a lot of agents. They're like, they're just being jerks. They're just being mean. You know what I mean? They're not. They just, if you really look at it, they got a bad hand in some way, shape, or form dealt to them. And it's our job to show them that we're the right person. And it's our job to save them from the other ones out there that are not the right people. Right, Dante?
yeah, absolutely. I say this a lot in calls when they're just going down the wrong direction, let's say for whatever reason. Um, but even in listing appointments, I just say, look, it's my duty and obligation to give you this information. What you do with it is up to you. But I need to show you this. Like I really treat it like my information because I know what I can do. Like I know the way that I am, like you said, methodical or obsessive,
Yeah.
whatever on marketing. Right, that's my previous background. Um, and I know, like, I'm just gonna be like, hey, I need to sell this person's home, and I'm thinking about their situation and what they wanted, and so I know that I'm gonna do a great job to sell the home. Now, but they have to see the information, right? They have to see me in person. They have to, you know, I have to figure out a way that I provide enough value on the phone that they give me their 15 minutes. And out of the 15 minutes, they might decide to hire me and they might decide not to. That's fine. But at least they saw the information. That was my duty.
Would you be open to a role play? I would like to hear you call me. Is that cool? Would you be good with that?
Yeah, let's
All
go.
right. All right. Give me a shout. And I'll be like, just for sake of time, I'll be moderate. I'm not gonna, I won't be too difficult, but give me a call.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Aaron. This is Dante with Coldwell Banker Realty. Hey, I was calling you because obviously you figured out the listing on your home has expired. And I was just calling to see, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home?
Well, okay. Did you, you're like the fifth agent to call me in the last 5 minutes.
Fifth
Um,
agent. Wow. Yeah. Right. So if you sold this home, Aaron, where were you moving to?
you know, I don't even know. I mean, I'm not sure who you are exactly. Did you show my house when it was, when it was up for sale?
Aaron, I don't believe I showed your home particularly. I sell homes in your neighborhood. However, if you had sold this home, where were you planning on moving to?
Um, we're planning on going to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Santa Fe, New Mexico. How exciting. And how soon did you want to be there?
We're flexible. I mean, I think right now we're probably going to hold off till after the holidays.
Okay, so you're flexible, but you're going to hold off for a little bit the holidays. That's understandable. And Aaron, what do you think stopped your home from selling?
Um, I've actually no idea. I mean, you're looking at. I mean, what do you think happened?
That's a great question. I asked that question to you, so you have no idea. I get that. A lot of folks like yourself, don't recall or know what
Yeah,
happened and how it didn't sell. And so, how did you happen to pick the last agent you listed with?
it was my cousin's uncle's neighbor.
Okay, it was a referral for you. That's great. And what did that agent do that you like best?
Um, I don't know. They were just bad. They didn't talk to me. They did nothing. Yeah, it was just a bad situation.
Oh wow, so they did nothing to get your home sold, man. And so, what do you feel they should have done?
I should have sold my house.
They should have sold your home.
Yeah,
Exactly. We can certainly help you with that. And what will you expect from the next agent that you choose
to sell my house.
to sell your home?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And have you already chosen an agent to work with?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be interviewing the one on the billboard. Stan. Stan, the
Okay,
billboard guy.
great. So you haven't chosen someone. You're going to be interviewing Stan. That's wonderful. Like, I would like to apply for the job of selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques that I use to sell homes?
No, I know. I have no idea.
You haven't. That's great. Well, how is today at 5 or tomorrow at 6? Which one works best for you?
Today at 6 is fine.
Today at 6. Great. So, Aaron, before I come out, there's a couple of questions I need to ask you. Is that okay?
Yeah, all right. I know where you're going with this. So,
Yeah.
that's great. Here's, may I, how can I put this?
Critique, of course.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing though, is that you had a path you were walking. I knew the path you were walking, so I was a little bit of a cheater. But the thing is that you always went back to the script. So what would happen is you're here, here, here. I bring you here, you come back to baseline. I bring you here, you come back to baseline, and you weren't phased at all. Okay, there was no that there was no phasing you, if you will, and your rate of speech was phenomenal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because what happens is you're very calm, cool, and collected, which you probably know that. And I'm assuming not much phases you in general.
Uh,
And it was just nice to hear.
I think I like to believe that in chaos, I'm the one that is able to react, to respond, not react. Um, but I mean, in the beginning, like anyone, I was phased by anything people said. I'm
Mhm.
not interested. Like you just don't. But when you listen to the recording every single day, when you role play every single day, and I mean, I purposely put myself in situations where I'm going to be somewhat, stumped or something, right? So I have, I think this, I truly believe this business and prospecting works when you like just dive deep or, like become entrenched in it, right?
Sure.
And so, like anything else, like you're not going to have fun in the pool until you jump in, right? And so, because then your friends are already playing in there, right? Water polo, whatever they're playing. And so, like I put myself in situations where someone in one of my groups or in Take 52, they'll say, "Hey, I'm looking for a role play partner. I'm in, Eastern Standard Time. I'm Pacific Standard Time, right? And they're looking for a 7 a.m. role play.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say, hey, I'm up for it, even though it's 4 a.m. my time,
Right.
right? And I know if I'm waking up at 4, or I'll put my alarm that day to wake up at 3:50, so it only gives me a couple of seconds to like maybe grab a sip of water and like, all right, be ready, somewhat ready for the call. But I'm still not, you know, I'm still not ready for the day, so to speak. It's just
Right.
getting there, right? My system is just booting up, and so, but hey, all of a sudden now it's like, right, well, you gotta do something, like you gotta act, right? You gotta respond. And so I think doing that, sometimes I'll take a phone call that I know after prospecting for 3 hours I'm going to get more than likely at noon when I'm going to get some lunch, and I'll take the call even
Right.
in the car, right? Like, but I know the script, like I wasn't looking at a script. I don't have a script in front of me, or it's in a book, but
It's all up here.
yeah. And so you could do that,
So I know you mentioned to me before that you've been pretty consistent at this for the last 6, 9, 12 months, give or take. When it comes to that consistent period of time, when it comes to your production, what are you most proud of?
Proud of. I, I think it's the all the listing appointments I've been on, because it's allowed me to see, um, different stories. I've been really fortunate. I don't know who's looking up at me, or who's looking down at me, but um, you know, uh, I mean, I'm going to be listing a home in Glen Oaks here in Temecula. It has some vines, right? A vineyard, and I was just put at the right place at the right time. I mean, people would call it that, but I was prepared for the opportunity. I mean, I literally went to lunch, and I was like, "Hey, where's the quickest way I can grab some lunch?" It was at the bar. Somebody was sitting next to me, asked, "Hey, you look." He made a comment about my appearance, and then brief chat. Found out that he tried selling his home. He found out I was in real estate. He said, "Oh, I've been wanted to list my, or I tried selling my home a couple months ago." I took him through that script that we just talked through about.
Yeah.
I just had that conversation and asked the questions on the script, and then the next day I was at his house listing his home, right? And I think I'm most proud of the fact that I was able to be there for someone that was, uh, that was in need, right? Just I think that's the biggest thing about this business. I mean, it's just you can get a $30,000 check, but once you get it, okay, cool. Like it's you put it in the bank or you spend some of it, put the other in the bank. But that's it. I mean, it could, those things. I'm most proud of um, the man you become, right, in the process. That's the biggest thing. I'm always looking for the future me. So it's that.
Perfect. And by the way, that's called prospecting karma, is what I call it. Because what happens is when you put enough hours in and you may not get it from prospecting, it comes from somewhere. So that's called prospecting karma, my friend. All right. So let me ask you
Exactly.
this. I ask
I look
this
forward to
question
some more.
every. What's that?
I'm looking forward to some more.
Well, just keep putting in the effort, baby, and you'll get the result. You know that as well as I do. I mean, you know that more than most. Um,
Thanks.
yeah. So a new agent comes knocking on your door. All right. I ask this to everybody. And they're like, Dante, give me one piece of advice. You're crushing it. What do I do? What's that one piece of advice you will give new agent Sally?
Well, I'll give him a stool. What comes with three things, three legs at least. Um, put your schedule in place and follow it. Right. So follow a schedule, a daily schedule. Um, get your mind right every morning. Learn a script and say it. Those will be the three legs to a stool. I mean, there's so many more things you can do after that, right? Of course, tap into gym, right? I mean, if there was one thing that I must have to say is tap into the calls at 11 Pacific Standard Time, my time, and I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right, with Jim Chamberlain on Take 52. Like, because in there you're gonna get everything. So if you tap into those calls, but aside from that, obviously, have a schedule and follow it. Get your mind right in the morning of that schedule, and grab a script and read it and say it to other people, right? You
Perfect.
ask enough people, you know, for an opportunity, they're going to give you one, just the way it is.
Prospecting karma. That's the way it goes,
Yeah.
right? All right. So, final words, my friend. What do you got?
Final words.
It's a
Or
big
like they're
deal.
the last words I'll say as I'm taking my last breath.
No, as you're departing us, you will stay on this world, yet you will be departing us. So the question is, what's the final
Well,
word you have for the
I
Vulcan 7
mean,
road mappers?
thank you so much for having me. Of course,
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate you and everyone at Vulcan 7. Without your work, I would be spending a lot of time in my day trying to gather up all these phone numbers and all these data. And the moment I found out that you guys that there was something like this, like there was Vulcan 7, I was like, thank you God. But last final words I would say is, uh, you know, go out there, set a goal, prospect, and even if you fail, you're closer to your goal by every failure.
Perfect. And then, oh, I do have one last question. So let's say someone has a referral and their client wants to sell a big winery in Temecula. How do they get in touch with you?
Oh, simple. I mean, you can just Google my name, Dante Coz, the realtor, and or just go to at Dante Coz, the realtor on Instagram, Facebook, and obviously you can give me a call at 951-764-2297. But
Perfect.
anyone can find me, I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll find you if they want you. All right, my friend. Thank you very much. This was great. I loved everything about this. And yeah, that's it, man. Take care, okay?
Thank you.
All
Have
right,
a good
you're
day.
welcome. Bye bye.